this conversation was just about an era, the people who begins the journey and the people who are leading the journey now. The reason why you see Black Sherif, King Paluta, and some of all these new artists you have mentioned is because they are the one leading that sound now.
Talk about the baking issue of the moment.
Yeah.
That Stonebwoy was displeased with an article that was published on the Grammy portal.
Yeah.
And you are still challenging it. Do you still stand by it that there is no way we can write the Hiplife history and sound of Ghana and omit a page of a Stonebwoy page in that book?
This is very fresh. I if you can pull up what
right. So you were challenging. Okay, you said Ghana sound.
Thank you.
But people were like, you knew definitely the article was emphatic about a particular genre.
Okay, so
all right. So the Stonebwoy tweet said, and then I read out one guy. Whoever wrote this article is interestingly missing the name Stonebwoy.
Yeah.
So the Recording Academy, which you tagged them, should do due diligence before they publish those article, aiming to capture the true image of the state of Ghanaian sound. With this,
before they capture the true image. Read.
Yes, of the Ghanaian sound.
Aiming. Before they capture Pacho, read the honor.
Yes.
Before.
All right. So let me.
Due diligence for free honor.
All right. So you tag the Grammys to do due diligence before they publish those articles, aiming to capture the true image of the state of the Ghana sound. Ghanaian sound.
Oh, no, quite big enough. Aiming to capture the true image. Okay, that on the side.
Right.
I'm not against any name that have been mentioned, and I stand on fact. Read where I said that the name Stonebwoy cannot be omitted when it comes to the true image of what the state of the Ghanaian sound.
Which I think people have not disagreed, but they are disagreeing on the premise that this was emphatic. Unless, of course, today Overlord want to tell me, please, do you have...
Hold on. Continue. This was emphatic to High Life. To
Hiplife. And the era, it was very emphatic about an era.
But he mentioned some other artists who were not in that era.
Unless, of course, you educate us on that.
Which is Black Sherif, our own brother, and King Paluta.
Okay, so,
And then he goes on this morning to say, Black Sherif ranks as one of the Ghanaian artists essential to Ghanaian Hiplife. Look, that's what's on the portal. Have you seen this? How do you explain that?
Okay, so we want to shift away from... Now, I'm centered on you.
I get it.
Yes.
So I'm centered on the Ghanaian sound.
Okay.
I'm centered on the article being half-dosed. TikTok has also expressed his displeasure.
Right.
And has detailed. Kokese has come to say that if you don't write your own story. So people carry it from different angles, trying to pin it different ways. I'm grateful that in all humility, we cannot disagree with the fact that this is a very, hardworking guy who is undoubtedly representing and adding to the catalog, the culture of Ghanaian music.
Certainly.
So when Livingston says Stonebwoy deserves a mention in such in an article that would represent us on a very international platform, that same platform Stonebwoy has the most articles written about him on Grammy platforms. Check it
certainly.
out. So it's not. So that should tell you that it's not the platform. It's not about my name in the platform, but it's about some of the things that we have to stand up for. You understand?
Okay, so I have.
So what do you make of? For this is an example.
Yeah.
I definitely have to state I'm not attacking nobody.
No.
It's in context to the thing. Black Sherif ranks as one of the Ghanaian artists essential to Ghanaian Hiplife. I'm confused. And then the details further on in the same. And TikTok says good attempt, but a very poor delivery. Not resourceful enough to be featured on such a credible space. It's like the writer deciding to write about the story of hip hop and R&B, however missing some key and relevant information. I will advise Recording Academy to do due diligence, same words I use, to stories like this before publishing them.
Right.
Since it's of a great importance to the Ghanaian music industry. Right. This even further explains what I'm explaining.
Okay. So the reason why I want to omit the
TikTok,
the TikTok,
and
the fact that now it was emphasizing the fusion of the indigenous sound and dancehall, which is a borrowed culture. And to them, the poster boys at that era that was able to blend them was Shatta Wale and Samini. That is where we want to center the argument that it was emphatic. Do you what is your position in Hiplife? Because you have always championed an Afro dancehall. The first time I heard Afro dancehall was from you, and that is a part you are chattering. People are of the view that what is your concern with an article that captures Hiplife?
But Hiplife is our foundation. Hiplife will pay credit to High Life, and everything that is today must also pay credit to Hiplife. So I definitely draw inspiration. I'm a son of Hiplife till today, but it doesn't change the fact that the article wants to capture the Ghanaian sound. The article is capturing the state of Ghanaian sound, disguising under Hiplife somehow, and we know better. We cannot sit here to have our sound captured, whereby it takes it all the way and comes back to. I'm making my points from there to Sheriff, our brother, and then King Paluta. I want to ask, what are their roles in Hiplife?
Maybe because of how they have identified themselves.
Are they Hiplife artists?
They identify themselves as such.
Have they said they are Hiplife artists?
Paluta.
The same thing some G8 article is speaking about. This article has tried, but does not capture the full state of the Ghanaian sound. May it not hide under Hiplife to try to coin it in a certain way. Then what is Samini doing in there if their style is contemporary? What is Shatta doing in there if their style is contemporary? What is Sonny Bali doing in there if their style is contemporary? Is my style not contemporary enough to be mentioned as even the current artist of the year? Are we writing in the past? I'm confused. There's a lot of questions I want to ask and I want to know also. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Right.
That is what I am standing for on behalf of Stonebwoy, speaking the truth and saying, no, this is the vibe. And out of all the list mentioned, Stonebwoy is one of the ones who have come closest to the Grammys many times.
Yes, certainly.
So what will be the curse or the harm here if that writer finds a way to acknowledge our current artist of the year, so that still continues to represent a certain pie, a certain piece of the Ghanaian industry? You can disagree all you want, but I'm being honest with you. It is not about articles being written on Stonebwoy. Stonebwoy undoubtedly has it's been written about mostly on international platforms. In that list mentioned, Stonebwoy is one of the names that has gotten so much international write-ups. So what would it be? Is it that I want more write-up or no? I am here at this time, like you said, as an institution, a young institution at that. I have to lend my voice to stuff that will be meaningful tomorrow, if not now. That tree and that's tree. Where do we get the tree influence from? From Hiplife, from High Life. Simple. It has reggae beat. When you carry Ghanaian sound of gospel music around that time, all you hear is reggae. When you carry Sonny Bali, all you hear is reggae. So what are they trying to distinct here?
Right.
What are they trying to distinct in that era? When you hear Tadi Lumba, Kojo Entry, you hear the influences of reggae as far as that.
Right.
What am I doing differently?
Well,
when these are my inspiration. So as far back as 2007, am I not even closest in case? Am I not even closest? If it is that I really want a mention, of course, am I not even closest?
So, here because you wouldn't have made a big fuss about it if Shatta was not mentioned.
Fine, that's their own. But I love it because in the end, I am the sole force behind Afro dancehall. So I believe that the people maybe beknownst at that time, just because I'm trying to be a part of, and I have to really be a part of Ghanaian sound.
Right.
I'm actually advocating for something they see low. They don't, see the foresight.
Okay, I just want to air out my own personal opinion when it comes to this whole conversation between Stonebwoy and the Grammys. First of all, I'd like to say Stonebwoy has every right to his opinion, and when you take a time to understand this whole conversation, it wasn't really about the Ghana industry. It was just about a particular unique sound. That's the Hiplife sound, and Hiplife is a combination of two sounds. You have the high life and the hip hop, and this conversation was just about an era, the people who begins the journey and the people who are leading the journey now. The reason why you see Black Sherif, King Paluta, and some of all these new artists you mentioned is because they are the one leading that sound now. Just like when you are having a conversation about Afrobeat, you have to talk about the legend, like the likes of Fela, you have the Two-Face, and now when you talk about the people who are leading Afrobeat, who took that genre global, then you talk about the Burna Boy, Davido, and Whiskey. I believe this is the same conversation that the Grammys are talking about. The reason why they mention Shatta Wale is way back when he was Bandana. You have the likes of Reggie Rockstone, and you have Samini, because these are legends, people who begin this journey. And the reason why you see they talked about, just like what I said before, the reason why you see they mention Black Sharif, King Paluta in this journey is because these are the people, the artists who are taking this journey global, like right now. Just like what I said from the beginning, Stonebwoy has every right to his opinion because he's also part of the industry. But the conversation here wasn't about the Ghana industry. It was about a sound, a Hiplife sound. This whole name calling is not even supposed to be something here, because why? The reason why Grammy insists on Black Sharif and some of all these new guys, now because these are the people now they make that sound global. So this is just my personal opinion, and don't forget guys to like this video, hit the subscribe button, turn on your bell, and new video comes up, you'll be decided to. But without further ado, you know the drill. It's come on bro.